sitting in 36 feet right now. So these smallmouth, it's post spawn. Water temp's 67 today. Post spawn, really hungry, putting the feed on. Throwing these baits out there, counting it down anywhere between 5 seconds and letting it hit bottom. The easiest way to fish this swim bait, it's nothing. Cast it out, wind it in slow. You don't want to overwork it. I find you don't want to twitch it too much, but just a slow, steady retrieve, constantly reeling so that plastic tail is just kicking and wobbling. That's the deal, man. That's what they want right now. They're sitting in 36 feet of water. Nice long cast, count it down. Play around with it. Sometimes count to 5, start your retrieve. Count to 10, etc. Start your retrieve. One of the best methods I found though, let it hit the bottom and then constantly reel it so it's coming up through the water column, so you're kind of covering right from the bottom, 36, right to 5 feet. Some of the hits are going to happen as soon as you turn the handle. Other times they're going to hit it 10 feet from the boat. So that's up to you. You got to experiment and try to figure things out. Today, you know, we've got a light chop, small breeze. A lot of the fish are suspended. They're up high. So they're okay if you're in 36 feet of water coming up to hit something that's only down 10 feet, 15 feet. So this is polar opposite than 6-pound test drop shotting. These post-spawn smallies, you know, they're putting on the feed like crazy. And I was nowhere near the bottom here. We're in 34 feet on this spot. You know, this bait was somewhere in the water column. This guy just come up and crushed it. So that's one thing. I'll take a second right now and talk about it. So I'm using, there's lots of different ways you can rig these swim baits, but you know, this application I'm using a football head, or you can use a ball head, and this is just on a, you know, a number 4/0 jig hook. You could use a weedless style, you know, like rig and hook. There's different options, but 20-pound fluorocarbon. I got a heavy action rod, gear ratio. You know, I don't want it to overpower the swim bait, so I'm using something that's 6:3 to 1. You could even go slower than that, but super fun. Post-spawn smallies, open water, big swim baits. Okay, so when I rig these swim baits, I'm using a football head here. Just thread it on, just like you would any other type of plastic grub or twister tail. I want to make sure that it's sitting nice and straight. But before I push this up, this helps a lot when you're casting. So you're throwing these around, you're setting the hook hard, a little bit of super glue. This is gel actually. Put a couple drops right on the bait. Right there, right on the head of the jig head, maybe a little bit on the plastic here. And then push this up into place for your final step. You know, give it 10-15 seconds to dry, but that's a great little tip when you're throwing swim baits for smallmouth bass. Use a little super glue just to keep the head in place so the bait doesn't tear down, and it keeps your bait running true. You know, if you miss a fish and you want to keep reeling, at least you know your plastic should be in the right spot. Give it a go. Big swim baits, post-spawn smallies like this, deep water. You don't have to be shallow. Try bait casting, try spinning equipment, but swim baits for post-spawn smallies, definitely a lot of fun.